happy Sunday, happy Sunday. The desk is a mess because it must be Sunday. Get the keyboard, camera right there. I'm actually doing some surgery here. I'm plugging this microphone too. Oops. Our keyboard mic's unplugged. There we go. Okay, I'll reactivate that. Whoops. Where are you? Why do I not see it? Duh, I broke it. Wait. Okay, I fixed it. There we go. There we go. Fixed it. User error. User error. Yeah, man. Happy Sunday. So today, this is an interesting one. This might be the first no of the year. And I went down a deep rabbit hole early this week. I was kind of in and out of town all week too, but I went down a deep rabbit hole. And yeah, this might be a no. We're going to show some facts to that where we're going to update the firmware. We're going to do some different things to kind of see and discuss the argument. Is this the first no? One. Two, what are you allowed and not allowed to use when it comes to firmware? And I know you're like, wait, what do you mean? We're going to deep dive into all of this because I learned some things. I talked with some of the GP2040 community and just try to make sense of what I'm about to explain. And I should see if some of them are available to come and like talk about it, but I don't want to turn this to like, you know, it's a community page, so they're not really, it's not, how do you say this? I'm getting my thoughts together as I'm like doing 5 things at once to get set up here. But maybe I will post it. Hey, I'm live and I'm talking about this. Anybody wants to hop in, which I'm sure they don't. They probably don't even care, but we'll talk about it. So I'll turn off my alarms because all my alarms are going off. Sure, wait, turn up my snare. But yeah, we got here. Boom, there we go. Now I can see, I can hear everything. Shout out to Uptown 69. Shout out to Uptown. Happy dog. Hey, how's it going? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Kailh the Bird on Twitch. Yeah, first note, yes. This. Okay, let's dive in. Yeah, I think it's time to dive in here and really, like I said, really dig deep on why this might be the first no. So let me get some water so I can charge up and start spitting. Get my tie ropes together. Let's lay everything out here, and we're gonna dive in. Okay, here we go. So here we have the Royal Kludge AS-T16, right? And hold on. One more thing I want here is I want some background noise. I can't hear anything. It's so quiet. So it's not too loud. It's like 20 seconds. So we'll see how this comes out. That's what rolls up. Okay, so here's the AS-T16, right? Now, with this pad, a weird statement to make, but I'm going to make it is, the packaging is fantastic. And you're like, okay, what do I care about the box? The box here, you know, it comes in, you know, your Royal Kludge, AS-T16, you know, flash keys. That's called flash keys, interesting. All those things, right? Open up here. Bump the mic. There's like a really thick piece of plastic inside, nice foam on top. The box is like super crisp. All your slots are nice and premium. And I'm showing you this because we're about to go, so bear with me. Even the lower box, it's like a secondary Cobra. They did everything like that. Is so loud. Let me turn this down to like 10. Does that help? I may have to do the master volume. Yeah, I don't hear that going down. Let's try there. There we go. Okay, 10 times better. And I'll come with a game plan on how to get that going. So, like I said, the box is fantastic. Like you would think. So, here's the pad right here. Here is the AS-T16. All right, so it stands off. And here's the major concern is we've all ordered a T or the original Haute42 models, and they come in cardboard for the most part, right? Is that a good thing, a bad thing? No one cares. It comes in cardboard, right? Whoop-de-doo. You get it, you play with it, whatever. This comes in a fantastic box. Let me grab a T. Here's my original T from 2 years ago, almost to the day, 2 years ago. Right, shout out to the T. So we're going to talk about that. So, this pad here, when I take the T top and lay it on it, they line right up. It's the exact same layout. What's different? The turbo button's here on the T, turbo button's here on the row Kludge, fine. The menu row is ever so slightly slid over. Like here's the T and here's the RK, right? Here's the turbo on the T, here's the turbo here, right? But you can see all the keycaps is exact same layout, which is fine. That's every layout is not copied, but they are that layout, right? So this layout is the layout. Fine. I'll take this off. The build is super solid. Doesn't creak. It's acrylic, but you don't really notice it. Has these cool slices on the side here. Like, can y'all see that? There's a slice here, right there. So you see the artwork kind of cuts in and out. Well, artwork. It comes with your USB-C to USB cable, right? We all know that. It's going to come with your switch puller, your extra screws, and they're not just regular screws. These are actually like hex or Allen, just better screws, top and bottom, so it's nice and easy to get on, get off. These switches are called Jersey switches, and they are a yellow. Again, I'm colorblind, so they're orange to me, but they're probably yellow to you guys, and I'll give a better view there. Stupid thing. Let's restart this. Hold on. Cannot be heard. Why does that do this crap? I promise I'm so sick and tired of Windows. Everything about Windows drives me crazy. Let's put this over here in this box instead. Resync my microphone. Give me a second. There we go. Now we're back in business. My box here is going to be dead. You're dead. Do what you want to do. But, so, as I was saying, right? The switches here, Jersey switch, they're fine. I can't see the chat here also. Struggle streaming. Wolf, shout out to Midnight Blue Wolf. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. What does sliding feel like? You know what? And the button space looks a bit wide. Yes, this is very much a T. Like it is wide spacing, bigger keycaps. The sliding, if I would say on these you can't slide. You can, but it feels just like all the other pads that are essentially 2/4 off the base. It feels just like that. And let's see here. Why did my music stop too? There we go. Right, so it feels like that, right? And So I can clear off the desk. You have your book. The book, it's you know, it's fine. It's stapled. And again, what's weird, like you buy most pads, the book is just folded. So they put the staples in. They put a really good quality box. They put, you know, the jerseys are fine. Like I like the Kailh V2's better, but there's nothing wrong. They actually feel better than the red, so that's a good. It comes with artwork. You know, you have your white with all the labeling to color on and do what you want to do. You have your black to color on and do what you want to do. Right out the box, card, stock paper, good paper. Then this happens. And this is the part that first kind of threw me off. I'm going to show you what happens. And this is where the discussion kind of begins. I'm going to close this thing. Are you frozen or what? Plug this in. Now take this, plug in the top here. Make sure everybody can see. And you see that. And you're asking yourself, what? I don't get it. What did I see? What did I see? I don't get it. Here, let me do it again. That's just in case you missed it. That's a 1. Why is there a 1? What does the 1 mean? What is a 1? My Elgato's not working. Like, why is this dumb thing? How do I make this activate? Okay, screw it. I'll do it the long way. Web view. Boom. There we go. So this is the reason why I bring this up. Oh wait, that's a Haute42 logo. So when I press that, I see that. And I would say bruh or what? I can't even do anything because the stupid box is dead right now. Where's my left camera? Boom. So why don't I see the Royal Kludge logo? Why am I seeing a Haute42 COSMOX logo on a Royal Kludge pad? Huh, so then I said, wait a minute. Let's go to web config. I'm gonna hold turbo, I'm gonna hold start and press button 3. I'm in web config mode. Now let's check the web config. So then I see Haute42 firmware. I was like, wait a minute. So let me check. Shout out to Orville. Happy Sunday, Orville. Hey, to review the controller. No dashes and make sure you do a paper test. Make no mistakes, Dr. Jones. Shout out to Orville. Happy Sunday, Orville. So you see this, right? And then I'm like, wait a minute. Like, what? So again, so then I unplugged it, and I like it. That's when I really, okay, let me hold this, let me feel it. Because here is the T. This is the original T. Right? Why are you not working? What is wrong? I need my sound effects. I want to make jokes. Here's the original T. Pass-through ports right here. Okay, it's not there. It's on the top. I actually like it better on the top. Why? Because I play on my lap the majority of the time. So if I have, this is, you know, the booters are fine. But if you put an adapter in your controller, when you sit down, you're kind of bending it. I'm about to get so mad. Like, why does it keep bouncing like this? I have an audio. There we go. So now I can hear. I hate Windows. Everything about Windows I hate. I freaking hate Windows. Okay, I can hear again. So I know everyone else can hear. I know it's Windows because Windows sucks. I can't wait till Mac gets their act together and I can stream from a Mac. 'Cause I'm tired of this Windows. I'm tired of this Discord, or not Discord, this OBS nonsense on Windows. Back to what I was about to say. So I'm getting upset. So here's the original T16 and put it by the mic. And you can hear that, right? And again, it's not even loud. It's not even a big deal. It's acrylic top and bottom. Like, what do you kind of expect, right? Yes, it's Windows 11. It is Windows 11. And it was funny you say that because my Windows 10 box that I develop on, I never have any issues. Now I see why everybody's mad at Windows 11. Windows 11 sucks. And shout out to It's Zexy Happy Sunday, Exexy. What's your main fight stick using? I mix it up. For Street Fighter, I like a tighter spacing. For Tekken, I like the wider spacing. That's just the way I play. Wide black screen on top. I'm not sure. Exexy. I'm going to drop a link. Come over to this chat. Okay, I can hear. God, I was about to get so mad. So now we see that, right? But then what's also nice is the frame is better. And you're like, well, what do you mean? I'm going to show you. So come back. So why is Twitch not working now? Okay, it's YouTube only today. I'm not fighting with this dumb thing today. So when you look at this here, there's a layer of acrylic here. Your power port, right? It's fine. You know, but what's different is on this pad, that top layer is actually thicker. And again, you have this slice. So it's on the table. With this one, you have the feet. I mean, you can grab it, but I never really thought about it. You are kind of like scooping it and lifting it up because the feet on the bottom, they're all right. That's every single pad is like this. You just kind of scoop it, grab it, you go about your business, right? Who cares? Merlin, shout out to Merlin. Happy Sunday, Merlin. I develop on Linux and Mac. I prefer the Mac. Mac is fantastic, especially this Apple Silicon. M1 Mac, 64 gigs of RAM, 2 gigs. Fantastic, fantastic. And Linux, I like Linux too. I don't use it as often as I use my Mac, but I do. Windows 10, from my experience of ours, it's more stable. Windows 11, I'm really catching on when people hate this garbage because I don't know what it's doing. I rebooted the thing 2 times before I even started today to make sure it was ready to go. Like all the updates were done. Rebooted it twice, so it's all cleaned up, you know. Windows sucks. I'm sorry, I'm venting over here before I start venting on this. Honestly, rather game on Linux. Facts. So then I noticed, well, like I said, this is like thicker. When you put it on the table, you just grab from the sides. It lifts right up with a little slide. Like everything is designed, even like the base. It's got this smoky look on the bottom. Fine. The feet are pre-installed. The screws, like I said, the screws are like a hex on top, hex on the bottom. You're like, why does that matter? We're all used to these screws now, like flat on top and a Phillips or flathead on the bottom. Here's the thing, on the R16 in particular, and just depending, you know, different pads are all kind of same. When you go to screw them in, sometimes they don't catch. So you have to like unscrew to line it up, and then once it clicks, then you screw it all the way in, it tightens up. So again, I mean, no one really cares, but they put all the energy and effort into getting this right, where, like I said, the box is fantastic. The book is staple, which no one cares, but it's just the amount of effort put in. The screws are better quality screws. The buttons are the buttons from the T16C. So like that thicker rubber, it's that. The screen's your standard screen. The keycaps, they're fine. They feel really nice. The switches, I wish they were Kailh V2s, not because of any difference. It's more because it's like there's more options, right? The Kailh V2s are so popular now. You can find a switch you like. Is what I'm really trying to say. So yeah, so it feels like you put all the R&D into this to get it right, but then you put the Haute42 firmware on here, and it feels like a cheap knockoff, which is weird because it's built better, but it feels like a cheap knockoff. And I'm gonna pause on that, right? Because I have more to say about this, but I'm gonna pause on that statement while I check the chat here. Kwamba Ruby, yes, the Ruby. We gotta talk about the Ruby too. Make sure I make a note for the Ruby. We're gonna come back to the Ruby because the Ruby is big. I can't wait to talk about that. Do I have the link for the Ruby? I think I do. Go to images. Okay, boom. We'll come back to that. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till today. I'm going to update the firmware in this thing to the latest Haute42 firmware and see if it takes, because it says Haute42, and see if I have any issues. And here's where the question becomes. Here is a list of GP2040 firmwares. Right, we're going to go back. Right here. Here's version 12, I see ASI, LVL, I see the Bento Box, I see Granola Arcade, Haute42, I see Mavericade, I see Pico, I see all the things, right? Now, what if I said to you, well, you guys know the controller that I want to make is called the Viper. It's red and black, right? It's shaped I mean, I'm scared of snakes, but it's shaped like a pipe. Like it's an aggressive looking pad. I haven't even finished it all yet. But anyway, there's 2 models: the wide spacing large keycap model, the tight spacing small keycap model. But the Viper, red with black keycaps, or smoky black. Anyway, I'm gonna make the Viper, and I'm going to use the Mavericade firmware. And then when you turn it on, you're going to see a Mavericade logo on my pad when you open the box.
Bruh.
I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think I like how I feel about that. So then I said, well, wait a minute. This firmware is open source. The firmware is open source. It says it, you know, it's GB24, it's at the very top, it's open source. So if it's open source, in theory, we should be able to use it. And shout out to Zexy, actually we will play Street Fighter today. I'm gonna try to start Street Fighter around 1 o'clock. That way I have time where I'm not playing so long today. So that's my goal. But we're definitely gonna play Street Fighter because I think we all need to pitch in and try to give Orville a beating. Because Orville beat the brakes off all of us last week. And then next week's gonna be 2XKO because 2XKO comes out on Tuesday, something like that. So I haven't forgotten. But we gotta cook. We gotta cook. Where's that? Chris Brown? Let me eat. We gotta cook, right? Let's cook. So, and then what's even funny is I took it apart. I was like, well, can I even solder on Kailh V2 switches? Like, can I just like kind of, what can I do with this, right? He said, am I allowed to play? Wolf, must just make a knockoff pad without the OLED screen, then nobody will see the logo. That's a good point too. They would have taken the screen off. But you know what? I forgot what pad it was where now every pad I review, I plug in and check the firmware. I think it was DOI. It was like probably something like 2024 where I start changing things. Okay, this is way too loud. I'm gonna turn down again. Turn the volume down to like 2. Just like yelling, screaming in my ear. There we go. Right, so now I make sure I take a screenshot of every every screen before I do anything. So that's where, like, as soon as I logged out, I was like, wait, Haute42? And then not only that, it's like version 0710. So then I started asking around, and they were like, well, maybe it's the same manufacturer, and they just kind of like use that base, which is fine, but like, you know, it's, let's see, I'm sad you're still working with this RK controller, not a Pro controller, not a Pro KO or HA10. I feel like you would have a good time. Facts. I need to, yeah. And when it comes to this in particular, what my feelings are is, the build quality is fine. The price is like $40. It was funny as it's pulled. I don't know if my review did it or maybe they sold out. I don't know what's going on, but you can't even find this anymore on Amazon. It was on Amazon. That's what actually made me jump out. I was like, wait, it's on Amazon. And I've heard of Real Kludge. Those that don't know, here's how I know about this company. And this is what kind of like blew me away. Because my daughter went to keyboard. Sometimes you just need a keyboard for some random reason. Okay, get out the way. All your Google AI nonsense. If you type in keyboard, you get all these different things. You get Logitech, blah, 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 blah. You see Red Dragon all the time, and it's not doing it right now, but I've seen Royal Kludge. I forgot what model I looked up, but Royal Kludge would come up all the time. And I didn't think anything else. I was like, okay, is this RK100? That's a RI. You get the point. So I've seen their name before. I just didn't really know much about them. And now I'm starting to wonder, like, they have to be logged in. I see Red Dragon. I hope Red Dragon is not like this because I see them a lot. So I hope Red Dragon is doing like proper. I don't want to say it's in proper business because I'm not trying to get sued out here. This is more just a discussion, but you know, all that stuff. Or we'll say, you have an M4 Pro 64-watt, nice machine, mini machine, and my side machine is the M4 MacBook Air. The MacBook Air is fantastic. Like I have the M1 still, and that thing kicks butt. And that's when we get the Pro. But yeah, 2XKO Season 0 is still up. I don't know if the season changed because I don't play the game very much. I know Grant's really good at that game too. Shout out to Grant. But it's going to be on consoles. I was trying to say on Tuesday. So PlayStation and Xbox are going to get it for free. I think that's really going to push people to that game more, and we're going to check it out. You know. And actually, I might have my son hop on too on the Xbox. I'll play on the PlayStation, and then or maybe the PC. We'll figure it out, and then you know everybody can kind of play next Sunday. We'll see what's going on. But yeah, so the main thing of this is it just feels like, I'm gonna call it a waste of time. It just feels odd, and it just feels odd that, again, you put the work in to say, look, people are purchasing this product, we're gonna remake this product, you know, top to bottom, essentially. Since we're gonna do that, what can we improve and what can we make ours different? We'll move buttons, keycaps are ever so slightly smaller, you know, we'll do different things, we'll change the switches out to a cheaper switch, whatever. But it's like he forgot. I don't know. So then I went to, like, so the GB24 Discord. I was asking around, like, hey, what do y'all think about this? And everyone had different opinions, right? But one main thing that kept coming back, and again, these are developers, not consumers. I keep saying that because I want you to understand this. Your brother, your aunt, your sister-in-law, your cousin, I'm not going to cuss, they don't give a you know what about how this thing works. All they know is, I want to play Street Fighter, I want to play Grand Blue, I want to play Fatal Fury, and I heard Leverless is fun. I want to get in here and have some fun. I want to play. I want to be good. When I turn it on, I see a 1. I don't even know what that means. I just want to play. Just go into the web config. I don't even know what web config is. You nerd, get out of my face. I just want to play. You see where I'm going with this? They don't know. But all of us do know. And what makes me a little nervous is that, again, if I made my controller and put Maverick firmware on it, and I said, well, who cares, right? I mean, people don't know what this means. They don't know what Maverick's in Canada, technically, right? I'm in the States. They don't know what that is. But I feel like it's unethical. And it's not a lot. I'm not gonna say it's not a lot of work, because I've done minor development on the code, but I don't know how much work it is to provide that to a vendor to produce your products. That's why I'm like prefacing what I say, but it just feels, it doesn't feel good, right? It really doesn't. And so now let's update the firmware. Let's check this out. Let's see if we can do this here. So here's the firmware. Where's firmware? Where are you, firmware? This is why I have 15 tabs open, because there it is right there. Boom. We're gonna come down. We're gonna go to the bottom, get the Haute42 basic firmware right here. I'm gonna download the downloads. Don't replace this, say no. Let's put -1 at the end. Okay, we'll get the flash nuke file real quick. Okay, boom. So now we have our files. And again, y'all can't see what I'm about to do, but I'm going to connect this to my board here. I'm going to hold start. Go to web config. Web config mode, perfect. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to come back to the controller. Where's the controller? There you are, right here. I'm going to refresh the screen, make sure I'm connected. Yes, I am. This is currently running Haute42 T16. I'm going to put 12 and hit reboot and say boot cell. Boom. Doing this thing. There's Windows already popped up. That's fun. Windows 11 has some nice features, but at the same time, it just sucks. This thing. Anyway, I'm not going to start. You know, today's going to be a complaining day. I'm going to complain all day today because I feel like it. Just because I feel like it. Because everything sucks today. Now, I'm going to take my flash nuke, drag it on top. Boom. Restart it. I'm going to grab my 12 firmware. I know y'all can't see. Just bear with me.